Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marlene. Today's video is going to be about the Kundalini, and we're still doing it from the perspective of the material of Ra from the books of the Law of One. So everything that I'm saying here is or this information comes from that material. Okay, so let's get started. So first I want to summarize briefly about the chakras, because it is correlated to what the Kundalini is, and then briefly mention how they get blocked, and then we're gonna go back on sexual energy transmutation and how the Kundalini is also affected by it. Okay, so I have my notes here. This is my second time trying to film, because the first video I had issues with the audio and the visual. I don't know why, but hopefully this video is good, it's better and straight to the point. So about the chakras, I already made a whole video going in depth about how they get blocked, how they get activated, how they get overactivated. So you might want to look into that. There's also a lot of information on the internet about it. So briefly, I'm just going to go over them here. But basically, Ra explains that the 7 chakras are correlated to the 7 densities of consciousness. So for him, they actually have 8 densities, but we don't understand the 8 densities. So we only focus on the 7 densities that when we're talking about the raw material, when we say the 4th density, if you know about the dimensions, it's gonna be the 5th dimension. So we're going from the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension. So for Ra will be from going to the 3rd density to the 4th density of consciousness. Okay, so each of our chakras vibrates, right? So they vibrate at a rate that creates a certain pattern, and the light passes through it. So depending on the vibration of all of the chakras, they create a certain frequency, and this frequency translates to this geometric figure that is unique to each individual. And you gotta see it kind of like a snowflake that creates a pattern depending on the vibration, right? So each of us have a unique frequency. The more experiences we have through the chakras that we can heal and integrate, is the more we balance those chakras. So Ra emphasizes more on balancing the chakras rather than activate them to their maximum power. Okay, so we have 7 chakras. So the 3 lower ones are considered the negative, polarized negative, and the top 3 are considered the positive polarity. And your heart is the gateway for you to experience the higher chakra. So the heart is the chakra that when you open it, you're able to open also the other chakras, and therefore experience what it's like to be a multi-dimensional being. This is when you are able to travel through the astral realms, through everything that's the abstract, right? So briefly, how you block these chakras is through distortion in beliefs and thought patterns and constructs that the ego does. Okay, so is when you have probably personality disorders, mental pain, or physical pain. You have an overall poor health, and you can also create blocks when you incarnate. So let's say your soul contract, you ask for a certain blockage because it's gonna have you experience or attract certain cataclysms into your lives for you to polarize, right? So this is again the density. The 4th density is where you choose to polarize positive or negative. I'm sorry, the 3rd density. But that's where you make the choice. So the 3 bottom chakras, Ra describes them as your animalistic body. So it's the material body is your 3D body, where pretty much you have your root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus chakra activated, and you can just have a human experience with those 3 chakras active. You don't have to necessarily open the other ones to be like in this 3rd density, right? The Kundalini, this is where again you have like that choice in the heart chakra. So you open your chakras, they're gonna be open through a certain order, okay? So you're gonna open them from the top going up to the crown chakra. So let's remember, the root chakra doesn't necessarily get blocked, it only gets like blocked partially, same as your crown chakra, but the other ones do have ways to block them. You can have like problems in your lower chakras, and when you try to activate your upper chakras, like you find it like it's like difficult, right? So the Kundalini, when it's trying to go all the way up to your chakras and you're not like ready, again because you haven't worked on your upper chakras, but you force it to have like visions, you know, like your 3rd eye open, this is what is called a spiritual escapism or spiritual bypassing, because you're not really interacting with your human experience, like you're bypassing it, therefore you're not like really like living here in the world. You're more in the astral realms and you're like stuck there, and you don't really want to experience what's going on here, what the work you actually came to do here on the planet, right? So if you do this and you don't balance, let's say your sacral chakra, all your interpersonal relationships that like you don't take care of and things like that, they're also gonna be coming to your field for you to be able to, you know, like balance that chakra. But if you just want to live up here, then nothing you do is ever gonna like make you balance or even gain more light to those upper chakras, because you don't really work on the lower ones, which again Ra really emphasizes on actually crystallizing those bottom chakras first, so that those 3 chakras are kind of like your base, your foundation. If you have a strong foundation, once you're able to open your heart chakra and you have access to those higher chakras, your experiences in the astral realms are going to be like 10 times better, you know, that somebody doesn't work them. And it's like he says that you actually grow easier and faster because of this, because you're taking care of the bottom chakra. So the Kundalini, what it is metaphorically, is a snake, okay? So whenever you see these drawings on the internet of a serpent rising through the spine, that's what is referring to the Kundalini, which is just prana, which is live energy. Because again, we work as a, let me put this down, we work as a battery. So your bottom chakras are gonna, because it's the negative polarization, they act like a magnet, so they attract energy from Mother Earth, from experiences here in the physical world, right? So you're grabbing all this energy, and then you are supposed to like work that energy through each of your chakras. So then through your heart chakra, you gain access to those higher like dimensions, and then that energy gets thrown out, given out to the universe, and whatever it is that you are able to like channel, let's say, because of the work that you do through each of these chakras. So yeah, it's very important that you are like anchored and grounded, so you're able to have a better or easier time when you like want to manifest a certain things. For example, somebody that attracts a partner, you know, wants to manifest a partner, each of those chakras is going to interact with that experience, right? So your bottom chakra, root chakra, is gonna sense like, do I feel safe in this relationship? Like, are my needs taken care of, or like, do I take care of my needs? Your sacral chakra is like, who am I in this relationship, my identity in this relationship. Then your third chakra, your solar plexus, like socially, how as a couple, like we, I don't know, help out in the world, things like that. who we are as a couple. And then your fourth chakra, like, am I giving unconditional love and am I receiving unconditional love? You know, like, is it balanced? And then your fifth chakra, like, is this relationship help me to grow as a person, as an individual? You know, like all those abstract things. Same with like the sixth chakra and seven, like, you know, do we feel this like same, I don't know, like, do we have the same vision for our, I don't know, like, religious beliefs, or like our, what do we think God is, or our sense of like universal oneness, right? This energy, which again is like in your root chakra, can be awakened by willpower, or it can be done like what's the other word, not voluntarily, by accident, you know. So like, for example, I had it's not an accident, like, how do you say it, like a sporadic, like I didn't plan it, you know. So I had a Kundalini awakening that wasn't like planned, it just happened, you know, because I guess it was like my soul contract or time for me to have it awaken. But people that have it done by like willpower is basically is because they force that energy. So they make it all the way through the solar plexus, right? And right when you reach that heart chakra is when you're gonna have that decision of if you're gonna polarize positive or negative. So right now, since we're going barely like touching the fourth density, where we're activating that dual body, that Kundalini. So this is something that more and more people are gonna have to experience it, right? So there's some people that are already being born with the Kundalini, the dual body, active. So it's gonna be more like our normalized way of living versus right now that is like less people have it active. And even back then, if you go way back in time, it's only like a couple of entities actually, or avatars, that had it active, like Jesus was one of them, right? So when you open your heart chakra, this is when you get that Kundalini activation, and this is when you get to experience the higher realms. But somebody that wants to take the negative polarity path will use their willpower. So they will use everything they got from like their survival filter and their self-love to only receive self-love, so very narcissistic, to be able to go up to the higher chakras, right, to gain access to that. So again, if you just use this energy and you kind of like force it too much, that you're not working on the other chakras, you can get what is called a Kundalini syndrome, which is actually what I had. Ra calls it something that's crazy that can happen when an entity wants to polarize faster than the experience allows it. So it's kind of like you make the battery voltage all the way up without, like, you know, like your nervous system, your body, your everything, like being ready. So it's kind of like you get electrocuted, you know, with all this light, all this information that you just can't sustain. So you're just stuck in the astral, because again, it's like you pull all that energy all the way to your higher chakras by force. You didn't really get a chance to filter everything that was going on. And this again happens when you have like a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, where you move all that energy because you don't know how to work with it in your like lower chakras. So this again is called like spiritual escapism, because you raise the energy faster. And Ra recommends to be patient, that you have to balance your two poles. So your negative poles, which is your 3 bottom chakras, and your 3 positive, or yeah, like the top chakras. And once you are able to I guess like balance these chakras, you gotta see it as always work to be done. So let's say that you are at a level sorry, like a video game, right? You have all the levels for each of your chakras, like max out, let's say at 2, but one chakra is only at level 1. So you want to try to make that chakra to be a level 2, so that when you go to the next level, all of your chakras are almost vibrating in the same frequency. They are at the same level. So it's kind of like you're gonna have more tools to work for when you get to those upper chakras. Okay. Life is a video game, you guys. But yeah, this is done through, again, like working on your bottom chakras, through eating healthy, meditating, having like all these good habits, right? Because you're, again, working on absorbing all that prana and trying to clear whatever blockage you have on a chakra. That's where the energy is going to be like stagnant, and that's when you're going to try to catalyze, or yeah, like use that cataclysm to polarize that energy to move all the way up. Because again, we're doing this almost like subconsciously, where we're always trying to move the energy upwards. Like, what is this teaching me? What is this lesson? What is that? But there's people that actually try to actually, let's go into their like polarized negative. So let's talk about sexual energy exchange. So when you're exchanging energy with another person through a sexual act, all of your chakras are being like the energy is being transmitted through all of those chakras. It's not just like your root chakra is only the one being used for the interaction. You have like all of your chakras active, because again, we're the body, so all of our glands that are correlated to the chakras are also playing a role on this interaction. So to have a sexual interaction, you need a feminine and a masculine polarity. So from the raw material, he explains that the positive polarity, which is the feminine polarity, doesn't necessarily have to be a woman. Like, you can be a woman and carry the masculine polarity, which is like more mental. You're more into like the material world, things like that. So this depends on the individual. Okay, so this is kind of like what he explains. So two people of the same gender can have a feminine and masculine polarity. That's why like gender doesn't really matter in terms of energy. It's more in terms of like it matters more in the sense of like the energy that you carry, like overall energy, because we are like a battery. So the person that carries the masculine impulse is going to transfer physical energy to the feminine, and the feminine energy is going to transfer spiritual energy to the masculine polarity. So this interaction, each person receives and takes to strengthen what the other needs. So this is done like unconsciously. We don't know, and we do it to balance it. So let's say you're with someone that has a more active solar plexus, and you don't have like an active solar plexus. You can take some of their energy, but you also give some of your other energy away, so for both of you to like balance. How we get into blocks during like a sexual energy exchange is through the bottom chakras mainly. I'll explain about the other, like the higher ones, later, but basically when you are having a blockage in the root chakra and you have a sexual encounter, this energy only is like stagnant, right, in the root chakra. So it emits a red color. So in the astral, you will look like your aura is very red. Okay, that's why we see the lower entities, or in the lower realms, these creatures that have this ray of red ray of energy that people, again, that can see in the astral will tell you is because they're using that survival energy, that fear energy from other people, for them to feed that energy center. Okay, and pretty much because they're trying to, well, and the astral works different, but here it's like you're blocking yourself from anything that can happen because you're trying to survive. So pretty much anything that comes to your way, you don't care. It's like you just are fighting for your life. So somebody that is on like block on the orange ray, which is your sacral, is somebody that has an insatiable appetite for sex. So the objective of this insatiable appetite is to raise the energy towards the green ray. Okay, so they unconsciously are trying to look for love through the use of sex, right? So somebody that uses the yellow ray is hungry for energy. So this is somebody that has their heart chakra blocked, so they're trying to open it through using somebody that has it open, but in reality they're even blocking it more for themselves, because they don't understand that they can never like take away the energy from the other person and gain it like that. It's more like they have to work on it, right? And this can be seen a lot in relationships where there's a narcissist and a codependent person, because the codependent person has a tendency to like have an over active heart chakra, so they're always giving unconditionally, and this person is trying to just take, but they never get fulfilled because again they have it blocked. They haven't worked on it. So when they choose to polarize negative, is because they're using all these energies from this bottom chakras. Okay, so somebody that that has like the root chakra blocked and is polarizing negative is somebody that sees the other person as an object. They don't see it as an individual. They see it as a person of, they see it as an object of pleasure. So they themselves become even more blocked, and they start to polarize negative, and they pretty much are on the path of the negative polarity. Somebody that's in the sacral chakra, it's somebody that seeks pleasure through humiliation, slavery, or chaining people, like like hitting them, biting them, hurting them, like physically. These are all practices of the negative polarity, because again, you're cutting the flow of raising it through to the third chakra. You're actually lowering your Kundalini. Is when you see yourself as superior, that you want to dominate. This is more of like the third chakra, when you just want to dominate, have like power over other people. And Ra says that somebody that likes to be called a master or a dominator of the other person, these are practices of the negative polarity. So if you have a blocked green ray, which is your heart chakra, you have also a fear of possession, or you want to be possessed, or you desire to possess someone. It's like having complete control of the other person. And again, this gets even more blocked on the heart chakra, and further takes you into the duality, or the material world. Okay, the three bottom chakras. So when you have this sexual exchange of energy, the upper chakras are also like interacting, but they don't necessarily get blocked. It's because they are more abstract, right? So it's more like you will see these people in the astral for actually who they are. So, and because we're only on the fourth density, we don't really have those rays of the indigo, the blue ray, very like crystallized in our aura. We actually have more of the orange ray than like the other rays. I think that's what on one of the sessions Rob mentions. So when when there is an orgasm during the sexual exchange of energy, the person that has the orgasm but the other one doesn't, that person takes all the energy from that encounter, which makes them kind of like a person that's mining the other person's energy. So kind of like an energetic vampire, because both people are supposed to have an orgasm to like successfully do this exchange of energy. And to have a positive exchange of energy, both people have to move that energy all the way to their heart chakra. So have both mutual like love for each other, respect, like see the person as a human being. They don't desire to own the person, to slave them, or to victimize the other person, nothing like that. So if you like being hit or yelled at during like this energy exchange, that's not right. And according to Rod, this is again a negative exchange of sexual energy. So again, it will like lower your Kundalini, your prana, your life force is gonna be lower because you're not exchanging it through your heart chakra. Okay, which is, when you take it there, it's a healing energy that heals both of you because it balances both of your chakras. Okay, so again, this is